So, listen, thank you guys for rocking with us. And the us is just me today because my brother Terry is not here. He has some personal business that he's taking care of. So, I appreciate you guys hanging and rocking. So today we are talking about why bad dudes do better than good dudes. I know. I want you to let that marinate in you, and we're gonna kick this off. So I'll be right back.
Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Who Talk with Terry and AD. This podcast is about men talking about everyday shenanigans, the stuff that makes us mad, to the topics that concern why in the world do these guys have a podcast. Let's get to it.
Yo, all right. So today we're talking about, like I said, good guys and bad guys, and why bad guys got an understanding. They know something that a lot of good guys don't. And starting off, of course, we always talk about our week. My week has been kind of crazy. It's just been crazy. And what am I mad at today? This week is Charter Spectrum and their shenanigans with the cable. I just don't understand why it's always an issue. Having to change the box out, it seems like it's always, well, I won't say always, because always is like right now. But I will say it seems like something always comes up and they go always again with them every month or so. It's something. We can't have a good streak of no issues. But I digress from that. So today, kind of want to run through some of the things, a revelation I got talking to my wife, and something she hit me in the head with, and it made me really think about what, and I always call them DooDoo Bird dudes, as opposed to dudes that are good guys. And let me distinguish between the two. So there's the good guy, the poster good guy, where, of course, is going to work, handling business, providing, taking care of the kids, at home, in the community, in church, and always everybody around to say, oh, he's such a wonderful guy. How could you feel that way or don't want to be with him because he's such a wonderful guy? So that is the good guy. That is the good guy that's always get propped up and annoys the wife when they have an issue, because though they see one side, the wife sees everything, from the bad days to not paying me attention or paying her attention and things of that nature. They're the nuances of a relationship that he's not taking care of, but he's handling everything else, right? And it's that everything else that can cloud your judgment. And what do I mean by that? So with the everything else clouding your judgment, you have situations that happen where, you guys are fighting and he's saying, but I provide, but I'm here, but I do this, but I do that, kind of stacking up excuses as opposed to attacking the problem, right? Whereas opposed to the DooDoo Bird dude acknowledges, yeah, I know I missed out, I messed up, and more or less comes to a humble apology, even though, and defining the DooDoo Bird dude means a dude that kind of works, may contribute, possibly, but they got this PS5 coming out, so you may get that half, but that money might go to the PS5. You know what I'm talking about? On the couch all day, and some, and more or less many of them, are messing around, which always blows my mind. If you're living with somebody else and you're depending on them to take care of you, and handling the bulk of your housing and bills, but yet you messing around with somebody else, that blows my mind. Like, your investment, you need to kind of take care of this investment here, but you're messing around with other women, and your main woman who you're living with is always catching you, or even your wife is catching you on your phone, looking at texts. It's always something that you're hiding or they're catching you doing. These are the DooDoo Bird dudes. So in definition, so you have an understanding. And when I say good guy, I don't mean he's just great. He just looks good. because even sometimes even abusers look good into the community until you get into the nuances, make a stop over at the house unannounced, kind of like surprise, like, hey, I know I meant to call you, and she comes to the house looking disheveled and things happening, that they cover up very well when they come out into public. But in the case of this conversation, the good guy is pretty good in the community. He's not abusive to his wife. He just doesn't give her the attention. He misses out on the nuances. Sometimes he may miss an anniversary or forget, last minute, like he doesn't put his wife first. It's like the nuances of a relationship where though they can survive like 5 years of this, but 10, 15, 20 years of this kind of can pull a marriage apart. It breaks down, it falls apart. And what happens a lot of times, you have kids, that's more of a distraction, and sometimes people just kind of stay for the children. But when they grow up or when they get to the age of like 16, 17, and they don't need your hand on them daily, and time now, you have more time, which would be for each other, but there's such a mess in the relationship. There's such a mess in what you guys are into that now that you're looking at each other, you realize we have nothing, and of course you decide either to go to counseling or I'm done, because the woman may have been trying and trying and trying and trying, and she's all tried out. And she's done. And sometimes we are in a fog as the good dudes. We're in a fog. We realize we're thinking everything is smooth. I'm taking care of everything. I'm taking care of business. Why can't I get credit for that? But in turn, I'm not investing in my main thing in the house, and that is my wife. But the DooDoo Bird dude always takes time to invest in the wife or in the girlfriend. That DooDoo Bird dude is always making sure he's there. He's on the couch. He's there. He's giving her, his attention. And a lot of times the attention is ulterior motives. Like, I'm just trying to give it to you so I can get the keys to the car. But he gives the attention. He gives to the attention. He listens. He maybe listen to manipulate, but he listens to interact. He listens to get his brownie points. He listens. So he's there. He's listening. He's humble and apologetic, meaning he knows he's wrong because he has, the good guy, I got this, I do this, I got this. Whereas the DooDoo Bird dude, no, he ain't got nothing. He ain't did nothing. He may have cleaned the table so he could eat. He may have cleaned the bathroom because he messed it up. The little nuances, the DooDoo Bird pays attention to, whereas the good guy takes for granted. Let that sizzle, let that marinate. So for you ladies that understand that, the good dude, he's making excuses. He doesn't see the nuances. So as a husband to a wife who I had the good guy mentality where I'm the bomb. How these other dudes, because that was my thought. That was my process because we were connected to people that were with the DooDoo Bird dudes. And I'm like, but this DooDoo Bird, and how did they survive these years? I never hear about them splitting up. But I had to come to realize, she said, the problem is that right there. Your attitude is that because I'm the good guy, I as a wife have to just swallow it. I have to just eat it up because you're doing everything else. My bravado, my ego says I'm handling business. How could you treat me like that? How could you have these expectations when I'm handling business? Listen, this is a serious thing. So I want to encourage you, right? What is it that you have to do? So if you're, as a guy, if you're listening to this right now, you're the good guy, like, man, I'm providing, man, I bring home the check, I bring home the bacon, she chilling, she an at-home wife or at-home work or whatever she doing, she at home all the time, I'm handling business, I'm making it rain up in here. We have to listen. One of the things that I had to learn is not just listening, hearing, but being active in what I hear, right? So if you hear something missing, you recognize that, and then you act upon that, right? That's the one thing. When you hear it, you listen. then you act upon it. Because sometimes we sit on things. We hear it, but we don't act upon it. We're like, yeah, we put it in the shelf. It's kind of like the books back there. With the pandemic, I'm starting to go through books and trying to read more. But there are books that I've gotten that I've not gotten to. It's information that you get, but you're not getting to it. You're not actively using it. You're not taking advantage of the information that you're getting. She's giving you the cheat code: up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, 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 BA. And you're not taking advantage of the information that you're getting. Let that sink in. Let that sizzle in your spirit, as Terry likes to say. Because too many times we are so focused on being the good guy, providing, taking care of the community, taking care of my kids. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's part of what you're supposed to do. But you're also supposed to take care of your significant other. And I've had to learn, with the DooDoo Bird, the significant other gets first, because he knows where his bread is buttered. He knows that without her, he is nothing. He knows that he needs her. So his first priority is her. So it's easy. Even when there's kids, he's kind of like there with the kids, but they don't provide enough for him to do things or manipulate. He may use them to get something to drink and they get older, but he uses her to get the most out of life. So he puts her first. Dig it? And I know women listen like, he puts her first. Yeah, he got ulterior motives. He's manipulative, but he puts her first. Let that sit. Let that sizzle. Because too many times we are focused on being such a great dude, but we don't put her first. You gotta put her first. Gotta put her first. And I'm not saying above God. Stop the madness. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm saying in your decisions, as you're planning your day. I had to learn this. As you're planning your life, you got all these things you're filling up on the calendar, but have you planned time for her? Have you planned date night? Have you given her first priority in things that you do? We don't, because we're too busy trying to be a good guy to everybody else. Answering the call. I'm going to handle a business. Going to help this one. Going to help this one. And, pastors suffer through that too. Good guy. I'm the pastor. Handling business, but not handling business at home. Let that sit. Because, you're a team. You and your wife are a team. But she's your star player, as Cat Williams like to say. She's your star player. And you've got to put her first. She has to be the first thing on your mind when you wake up after you pray. She has to be the first thing that you think about going to bed. You're first. If she's not the last person you talk to before you go to bed, there's a problem. If there's all these other people that even from your brother to your sister, even to your mother, if she is not first in the morning, first at night, and part of the thought process throughout the day, that's where the issues happen. So, to all my good guys, keep pushing, keep playing. Don't forget your star player. Shift your priorities. I don't care what job, what business. I don't care about the money. It's not about the money. Yes, she does love the comfort. She does love the financial security. But what she loves more is the secureness of you being with her. Keep that in mind. Because, we so quickly get caught up, in our lives, and time goes and rolls and rolls, and the birthdays and anniversaries, and you're not giving the attention needed to really make it great. And listen, pulling it back, and I'm gonna probably hurt your feelings a little bit. It's great to be the romantic guy, but what she wants is that attention. That attention, the first. is she on your mind right now when you're making those decisions? Because some people kill it with the anniversaries and birthdays. That's great. And I'm not taking away from that. But you gotta give her that attention. Because the DooDoo Birds miss the birthdays. They miss the Christmases. It's always something. Valentine's Day. So they always half step. Repurposing gifts and always half step. But they always maintain their status in the house. They rarely lose. They rarely get kicked out. There's rarely a divorce from DooDoo Bird dudes. It takes a long time. Because one, they fight for their relationship. Two, they make sure they give their boo the attention that they're looking for. Like I said, they have ulterior motives, but they give that attention. All right. So I appreciate you. Told you this one wasn't going to be too long. We will be back on next week. This has been another edition of the Brothers Who Talk with Terry and I, A.D. Walker. Listen, don't let who you are and not being able to humble yourself stand in the way from having a great relationship with your lady. And ladies, you're listening. I know if he's doing it all, trying to be the good guy, explain to him to come off the mountain and be here with me. All right. So as always, take care, guys. We'll see you next week. Keep pushing, keep growing. Listen, make sure you share this Apple Podcast, like us, review us. Please, if you're on YouTube, watch this. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a comment. He goes, action. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a comment. And if you're anywhere else, make sure you share this on your timeline. And I appreciate you. We'll check you out next week. So take care, be blessed, keep pushing, keep growing. And I think that's it. Take care.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Brothers Who Talk. Brothers Who Talk with Terry and AD. Check us out again next week, where we bring you a steaming helping of common sense, laughs, and advice. We can be found on any podcasting platform, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We're also on milehighradio.com, Saturdays at 12 Eastern. See you there.